Awesome. Looks like we are live. What's up, everybody? My name is Megan Huber. If this is your first time ever hearing me or seeing me go live here. And I've got my good buddy, Rebecca Satori. What's up, Rebecca?
Hey.
We are going to chat about something incredibly exclusive today that Rebecca and I have been working on fairly recently, something that we are doing together. It is the Legacy Mastermind Experience. This is a 2-day experience in person in Sarasota, Florida, right down the road from me. So Rebecca's going to be swooping in from where she is up north, getting out of that cold weather, happening live for 6 and 7 figure income earners. If you are a coach, a consultant, an agency owner, a service-based entrepreneur, and we're going to tell you all about what to expect at that experience today, because we have got limited seating. This is, again, exclusive, high level. We're only accepting 20 people in the room for these 2 days to work with us and work with the other people in the room. So Rebecca, say what's up, say hi, and let's dive in.
Hey everyone, so excited to be here with you and share more about this today. I am Rebecca Satori, an intuitive success and business coach, and I've been in the online space for 11 plus years now with Megan. We've done a lot of behind the scenes for some multiple 7-figure entrepreneurs and just have a whole different vantage point as a result of what I call creating and sustaining and scaling your thriving, healthy business ecosystem so that you can step away from your business and do whatever you need to do, deal with any kind of things that are going on in your life, with the craziness going on out in the world this day and age. And then I will also mention that this retreat is a very high level retreat that is exclusive at the Ritz Carlton in Sarasota, beachfront, which is amazing, beachfront and bayfront. And it is all inclusive. So your room is already taken care of. This is for you to lavish yourself in luxury and really up level to that next level of 2022 success. And it's going to be super duper interactive. We're going to be hands-on in your business, and your business will transform within those 2 days as well as you.
Yeah. And I think this is perfect timing too, Rebecca, like beginning of December, closing out 2021, preparing yourself for 2022, and not just like, how much money am I going to make and what are my offers, but we're really going to help you figure out how to build or better manage the company and the team that you already have in place, so that you are building a team managed company, which allows you to be able to walk away when you need to, when you want to, whether it's to go on vacations or it's to spend more time with your kids, or if you've got ailing parents. I know Rebecca and I were just chatting before we got on live, and, you know, both Rebecca and I have a lot of friends. We have a lot of peers and colleagues in the industry. Plus we're both business owners as well. And, you know, we were just kind of swapping back some stories about friends that we've heard where their parents are ailing and they want to spend more time with their parents before, you know, it's their time to go. And, what's happening is they want to take like a month or 2 off, or they're kind of being sidetracked by whatever's going on in life, with their parents or their kids or themselves or whatever. And their business is starting to plateau, or their business is starting to kind of slide backwards because they don't have structures, systems, processes, or people, team in
AKA
place.
An unhealthy ecosystem.
The ecosystem
Contamination.
Ecosystem is unhealthy. So, you know, that's part of what we're going to be talking about here is how can you structure the ecosystem of your company. We will talk quite a bit about team, because, you know, to be eligible for this, we really want you to be in the 6-figure, 7-figure range. In order for you to be at that level and sustain at that level, it requires people. You know, people actually become your most important asset. We can sit here and talk about automation all day long. There's a time and there's a place for that. People working in your company, helping you build your vision, is your greatest asset. And Rebecca and I both have experience being the people on the team. This was many years ago, but we worked for an exceptionally high level, exceptionally successful, has been for about 20 years, coaching company. And the owner of that company was still heavily involved in the distribution and the fulfillment of the services that were sold and provided. Yet that individual was able to travel the world 6 months out of the year. That individual was able to say, hey, you know what? I want to extend my trip for an extra month. I want to do this when I'm here. Rebecca and I were running the ship behind the scenes. So I think there's, a big misconception sometimes that people are just setting up a business model that lets them leave their business. What a lot of folks don't know is there are people behind the scenes almost working 24/7, doing all the things. But those roles are exceptionally important, and not just the roles, your ability to lead those people is important.
Yeah, a team, A players, divinely appointed is the key here. Just like in your body is an ecosystem, and it's like the cell is getting a message, hey, you go to the liver, hey, you go to the brain, right? You need to know exactly how to place these A player teams so they are divinely appointed in your business to do what they are extremely masterful at, so that you have a flawlessly run healthy business ecosystem.
Yeah.
And most people have lots of contaminants.
Will you share just like a quick snapshot of what does the business ecosystem entail? What makes up the business ecosystem?
So the business ecosystem, 80% of it is going to be your words. And by that, I mean, how are you speaking to your team? How are you speaking to yourself? How are you speaking to your family? What are the stories you're telling? You cannot have self-talk that's in the toilet and expect yourself to be scaling. The second thing is sales and your sales systems. And you need to have systems for everything, because that's literally the infrastructure of the healthy business ecosystem. Then also delegation, organization, automation, those things that really just run with themselves. And we had talked about this before too, where the business owner creates, and most businesses that we work with, they already have like standard operating procedure manuals, but they're dusty, right? They have virtual dust on them. They haven't touched them. Mm-hmm. And those need to be living documents that the business owner is continuing to refine and refine and refine. And then the team is also refining it as well, so that it really sets you up for having a business that runs like a well-oiled machine. And then of course, money, what you're bringing in, your profit margin, that is going to be huge to look at as well.
Yeah. What was I going to say? I just had it. Rebecca and I, this is something that we've often chatted about. Rebecca and I have been doing, we started working together back in 2013, worked together on the same team for quite a few years, and, have always been really good friends in the industry since then. And something that we have noticed, I would say, I don't know, I think it's been happening probably for the last decade. And we were just chatting about this, we can all kind of like roll our eyes a little bit at this point. Those of us who've been doing this for 10 or more years, it's like people running around teaching you like how to make money or how to get to 10K months. It's like a dime a dozen at this point. Like anybody can go out and put their stake in the ground and say, I'm going to help you make money, which is all great. Like all that is great. I'm sure all those people are great. I used to teach that as well. Rebecca probably did back in the day too. And then we've got like these ginormous masterminds where everybody is making 7 and 8 figures, but it costs 6 figures to get in. Or you have to show that you're already producing 7 or 8 figures a year to even get in some of those circles. And like, but what about the people in the middle? What about the people who are like way beyond 10K months, way beyond that? They did that 10 years ago. But maybe they're not quite at like $5 million a year, or they're not at 8 figure. Like who's serving those people? And I think it's a segment of the marketplace that is highly underserved. And what ends up occurring to that segment of the market is you no longer need to be taught how to make money. You already know how to make money. You already know how to create offers, products, programs. You already know how to sell. You already know that your marketing works. You've already proven that people want what you have to offer. In fact, you probably have already hired people and you have some sort of team in place. But the problems are very different than for someone who is in more of the early stage or trying to get traction, or quite frankly, hasn't been doing business for a really long period of time. Even if they have had some degree of success, they just aren't experiencing, nor have they ever experienced some of the setbacks, obstacles, issues, personal or business, that you are now coming up against. So there's new problems that also cannot be solved the way that you used to solve problems in the past. Your challenges are just different. And, you know, Rebecca and I also see a lot of people who have had really great business success in the past. Like maybe you've built multiple businesses, you've had 7-figure companies in the past, and something happens in life, whether that is a spouse who passes away, issues with a child, you know, whatever the personal
Something
issues
that rocks
are.
your world.
Something that rocks your world.
That you don't want.
And for a lot of us, it's on the personal side. The stuff
Yeah.
that rocks our world the most, it's on the personal side. It's not in the business, but it pulls us away from the business, or it takes your mojo away, or it depletes your confidence. But it's not like you're coming back into things like at a getting started stage, and you want to be able to have conversations with other people who are currently going through it, have been through it, and got to the other side, and can actually have that caliber and level of elevated conversation with you. Some people just get it and some people just don't. And you deserve to be in those rooms surrounded by that caliber of a community.
Yeah, absolutely. I've said that from day one. My very first coach wasn't married, didn't have kids. And I forget what it was, but she said something about, well, how come you didn't get this, this, and this done? And I said, because it's Meg. And she was like, huh? I'm like, any mother on the face of the planet with kids is going to know May is like the absolute busiest, wildest months out of the year, because I'm volunteering at field day and I'm, you know, doing all this stuff at school, and there's lots of things going on with the kids and their sports towards the end of the year as they're finishing up school. Mm-hmm. And in that moment, I made a decision. I said I would never hire a coach ever again that hadn't been through a majority of things that I have been through, and had children, and, you know, has been through a divorce, and because they just don't get it. There's no possible way that you can, you know, place on someone what it feels like to run a family and a business at the same time. And that's, I think, a huge area that Megan and I both bring. I know that it is, with having families and with having gone through major, major challenges in our lives. Like I always say, I've been through more in one lifetime, in this lifetime, than most people have in probably hundreds of lifetimes, because you cannot get coached by someone who does not have that level of resiliency and relatability.
Yeah. 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 And I think it also goes both ways. Well, you're kind of just adding to, like, it's also the community. I know that part of what helps me make decisions about not just the coaches I want to work with. And I do believe that even I actually hire a lot of men, but if I look at the men I hire, they are married and they also have children. So that's a really important piece for me. Also, I look at the other people in the program and I want to feel a sense of belonging. And a lot of what I'm looking at, it's not as, for me, it's not always, well, they need to be at my level or higher in business, or they need to be making more money than me because I need to be around people who are bigger than I am, or whatever. A lot of people think that's the only metric that you're looking at in a community. Nope. I look at stage of life. What stage of life or phase of life are most of the members attending that event or are in that group or in that mastermind? Can I relate to those people? Can we speak the same language? To your point, like if everybody is single, that doesn't work for me. I'm in a marriage. I've been in a marriage for 13 years. Or if no one in the group has ever had children, it's not relatable to me. We've got a kid. And she's also like in 5th grade. Like I have a small child, right? Mm-hmm. Like she's not like an adult now. So I think that we're also really looking for relatability in community, which is a really important factor for the Legacy Mastermind Experience. This is not going to be, you show up, you listen to 2 people sit at the front of the room and talk and teach you with your, I've got my with your legal yellow pad taking notes. It's going to be interactive. You are going to walk away with actual assets that you can carry into 2022. You are going to be having collaborative networking, deep dive conversations and like roundtables and workshops with other people in the room. You're going to be making decisions in the room. You're going to be problem solving with each other in the room. You're going to be presenting about what your business is going to look like and the moves you're going to make, the chess pieces you're going to make, and get on the spot feedback so that you can make really clear, big, bold decisions and carry that into 2022. So it's not for you to just come and we teach and talk and you don't know what to do with anything. It's going to be incredibly interactive for those 2 days. So get ready. It's going to be intense.
Yes, it's going to be incredible. And what I would say about what you just said is that basically when I'm hearing you speak, in my mind, because I'm seeing everything through the lens of this healthy business ecosystem, you're evaluating that ecosystem. You're like, do I want to place myself in that environment? So placing yourself in the environment of the Ritz Carlton, where literally everything is taken care of for you. And Megan and I, along with the other participants in the experience, which is why we called it an experience, we're gonna be really right there with you. I had a psychic medium tell me years ago that he said, that I'm trying to think, I don't even know that I had maybe I just started my business. And he said, you know what, Rebecca, he said, what you do is it's like you take someone else's business, like it's a village, and you look through it. And this is what we do, right? You and I together, looking through with meticulous precision, because it's never just these big things that need to happen. And this is where business owners really make a lot of mistakes, because it's tweaking these tiny little things here and there in that business ecosystem that have the biggest impact. And so Martin said to me, he goes, it's like these people are giving you their baby, which my business is like my third child, maybe my fourth. I do have a Chihuahua, but, and he said, you're going to take their businesses and then you're going to hand it to them back. And they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm handing this over to you. It's something that's so sacred. And it is. When you have built your company to that level, your business is so sacred. And so you have to be very intentional about who it is that you allow into your business behind the scenes. Most people in the coaching industry have not been behind the scenes of any business besides their own. So they don't have a well-rounded perception. Unlike Megan and I, where we have literally been in the scene, behind the scenes of, even in somebody's bathroom at the Ritz Carlton in Paris and Australia, like all over the globe. And we just bring a wealth of wisdom to be able to help you with your sacred baby and then give it to you back, kind of thing was what Martin was saying. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. So we would love to have you there. Spots are already starting to fill up. And like we said, there are only 20 spots available today. At the time of this recording, it is October 27th. And this is going to be held in Sarasota, Florida on December 1st and 2nd, all day, each day. And we have soirees, networking in the evening.
Soiree, networking groups, or, cocktail parties, I guess we can say, with lots of surprises.
Yeah. And look, the weather in December in Florida, I got to say, I've lived here for 6 years. It's pretty epic. My favorite time, I love the heat. My favorite time of year is the winter here because it's still like low 70s. It's crisp. You don't have the humidity here. So especially if you are in a part of the country or world where it's snowing and it's freezing cold, like get yourself down to Florida for a couple of days in December. That's right. Rebecca, tell people where to go if they want more information, if they are like, sign me up for this. Obviously you can private message either one of us right here on Facebook if you've got more questions. And then I believe you'd share where to go if they're like,
so they can private message either one of us, comment below, share this. Of course, we would love for you to be in that collaboration mindset of 2022. Where great success is going to be had through collaboration. That's the direction that we're heading energetically. We had talked about predictions, right? So that's a guarantee, not a prediction, that 2022 will be lots of collaboration in business and it won't be able to go forward. We are really moving energetically from this place in the world where it's the solopreneur. That's the cancel. That's the cancer. That's the cancer. And so we are moving where the world will be working more as an ecosystem, which is why we talk about the healthy business ecosystem. So if you are interested, you definitely want to take action now. That's what successful entrepreneurs do, because these spots will not last long at all. And you can reach out to me at rebecca@rebeccasatori.com. You can email me directly. And as Megan mentioned, you can comment below or direct message either one of us, but we'll basically hop on a quick 15-minute phone call just to make sure it's an absolute fit, because we are going to be extremely thoughtful and particular about all of the participants there in our healthy business ecosystem at the Legacy Mastermind Experience.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Well, I am excited for this.
Me too.
I can't wait to see who is in the room. I can only imagine the caliber of conversations that are going to be had, the awarenesses, the epiphanies, the breakthroughs, the transformations. And then also, again, I think it's so important. We could talk business all day long, and Rebecca and I love business, but I also think that, we put ourselves in rooms to form connections and friendships that last a lifetime, and bonds, and joint venture opportunities, referral opportunities. Look at what Rebecca and I are doing. We are collaborating on an in-person live event together, and it's exciting and it's fun. And, the only way you get to do this is if you're putting yourself and positioning yourself around other people so that you can discover, like, you have no idea what's possible until you say yes, because that next level of possibility and the next level of opportunity only occurs after you say yes. You don't know what's going to happen until you put yourself in the room. But like Rebecca said, I agree. We're moving into this new era of collaborations, and no longer saying like, it's the me show, and I think that's something really exciting that we're all moving into as entrepreneurs in the next decade and beyond.
And it's in complete alignment with the mystical laws of nature that we have not been operating by. So it's just a really exciting thing to be moving into, because when you look at these companies that are like, oh my gosh, these corporations, they're so productive, and PS, they're like pissing like 40% of their profits out. So they have all these like leaks in their business, but they're still really, really profitable and really successful with productivity and so on. And that's essentially what we're talking about, is that collaboration in alignment with the mystical laws of nature. Because when you have collaboration, you don't have a chance for your mojo to plummet, or you have someone else in your ecosystem, your business ecosystem, that can continue sailing the ship when you need to go and deal with whatever might be going on in your personal life, etc. And then it helps pull you out of some of that emotional turmoil that you might be going through because of what else is going on outside of your business. And you're not going to stay down as long. You're not going to feel devastated as long. It's just this teamwork thing that is so exciting, and it's meant to be, business is meant to be easy. Business is meant to be so much more lucrative than you're allowing it to be. And the way that you get there is through collaboration and by being at an event like this.
There you go. So if you're in, private message either one of us, email Rebecca at rebeccasatori.com. We'll put that email down in the comments below so that you have easy access to that. Like Rebecca said, we'll hop on a quick 15-minute call, make sure it's a really good fit. We are being particular about the combination of people in the room.
All about the energy.
All about the energy. And we can't wait to see you there.
Yes.